I gotta get my drink. My drink is delicious. So I don't know a whole lot, but I'm learning a whole lot. So I guess I do know a whole lot now. But I had this idea, and it kind of goes back to the FJ, and I knew I wanted like security lights for the bus because, you know, like being able to see things at night. And just flick on a couple switches, flick on a couple lights, be able to light up the whole world and kind of see who's around us, what's around us, in case we hear something that like freaks us out. So that being said, I wanted to put a security light on the corner right here and a corner right there. But then I was like, well, I'm in the bedroom and I hear something, I don't have to run all the way up to the living room to turn the switch on. So I want to put a switch in the bedroom and in the living room. And I knew that was possible with like houses because you can move in the left side of your living room and turn on the switch, or the right side and turn on the switch, and they activate the same light. So I knew that was possible, but I wasn't sure what kind of switch that actually was, or if it was going to be possible to use a residential switch on a 12-volt system. And long story short, after doing a ton of research, it is possible. The lights work. So that one and this light are powered by the switch right here. So those two lights are powered by a switch right here. And in our bedroom back here. So today's video is going to be about that. Can you wire two lights together off two different switches on a DC circuit using an AC switch? And yeah, it's possible. So I'm going to show you how exactly I did it. I did a bunch of research as far as like if that's safe or not, because I've seen some people do it, but I've never had any clarity as far as why it is or is not safe. But yeah, I'm not an electrician. Nobody said it was a bad idea. Nobody definitely confirmed that it was a good idea. So I did it. The DC switches are terribly ugly. The AC switches look a lot better, and they're actually cheaper. So this is what we're using. It's a three-way decorative style toggle switch. You've got your neutral, which in this case is going to be your ground. You've got your hot wire that's going to feed the source from the circuit and also to the power supply. And then these two screws right here basically feed off one another. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. Today I've got the driver's side, today I've got the passenger side already hooked up. So now we're gonna be hooking up the driver's side. I've got a light switch right there. I've got a light right there. And I've got one in the back corner. So let's go and get these things wired up. So I watched a video, and in that video there's this illustration, and I'll put a link in the description to what I'm actually referring to, but this is basically what I'm following on how to run everything. So basically your hot wires come in through here, that comes off your basically power supply, feeds into one switch, those piggyback off another, and then you have another hot and another negative that feeds into your actual light source. So through each box we've got two sets of wires. We've got 2 wires and 3 wires. They're kind of like taped them together, bundled them up some. These 2 wires are feeding directly off the lights. On the other box, there's going to be 2 wires that feed directly from the power source, positive and a negative, and then on the other box you've got a positive and a negative as well. So these feed basically directly into the lights. These 3 wires, however, there's 3 of them. You've got a negative and then basically 2 positives. And why I say basically is, so these 2 wires basically create like a one big loop between the 4 points or 4 screws on the terminals. And I've colored them. So this one, this red and black, is going to go to one screw. This white and red goes to another screw. And what that does is basically like completes the circuit or decrease. That's not even a word. So what that basically does is completes the circuit. So if this is on, then the power is flowing all the way through these wires. And if this is off, then the switch basically breaks it in between. So these 2 negatives get wired together, and they're going to have a connector connecting them together. So now we've got the 2 negatives connected together. We're going to go ahead and basically snip off these ends, curl them up, make them look nice and pretty. Because these ends are getting screwed into the back of the switch. And I just like everything looking nice and neat, because it's a lot easier to work on later. if it is. Alright, so we've got our switch. This white one is going to go directly across the green one. And we need to remember this because our feed wires and return wires on the opposite, on the other switch. We got to make sure they're the same. So 180 degrees from the green, like so. The black and red goes to the other one. Hot wire feeds into the hot receptacle, or hot screw, whatever you want to call it. And then we grab our ground and turn it into the neutral. Now we're going to screw it in a bit. Tuck those wires in there. And I think this makes sense for you guys. If it doesn't, then shoot me a message or comment below and I'll try to explain it a little better next time as far as how I did it, why I did it the way I did it. But I think this makes sense. It works. Definitely works. Alright, let's go do the other switch because that's only one of them. There's no power feed into this one yet. Connect our negatives together. Red and white was 180 degrees from the green. So then our black and red goes 180 degrees across from the black like we did on the other switch. Goes there. Tighten that one. Hot wire, or our power wire, goes to the black screw. And then our negative wire, negative screws, or our negative wires, go to the green one. And I keep putting the green up for some reason, so I'm going to continue with that. Then we just tuck it in. Screw it in. Then we run our positive. And our negative. Fuses are in. Everything's wired. So in theory, if I hit this switch, it should. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. It works. 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 So we're all good. And then turn it off. It's off. Super simple, actually. So, I think that about does it. I like those switches so much better. So yeah, I mean, it is definitely possible. It's a little confusing. It's really hard to talk about over the camera. And I was gonna draw a diagram, but then I was like, somebody already did that. It's in the video that I learned how to do this stuff anyways. So definitely go look at that video. It helped out everything that I needed to know for wiring these three-way switches. So all these lights. If you have any questions, please shoot me a message or comment below. I think at max per switch, we're only pulling like 1.5 amps between two lights, because I only got two lights on one fuse. So yeah, I appreciate you guys following along. Like it if you like it, dislike it if you don't like it, and if you could subscribe, I'd really, really appreciate it. Me and my family both would. And yeah, sweet, it's coming along. I halfway through with all the DC wiring, so here we go. I love you.